It's always great to bring back Pepper Johnson here to Giants training camp, one of the great Giants linebacking legends. Pepper, it's great to see you, and people right now are so excited about this linebacking core between Thibodeau and Burns and now Abdul Carter. Yes. When you see that trio, what's the kind of things that come to your mind?
I'm excited. A lot of big plays, a lot of forcing big plays for other people to make plays. That's what I'm expecting. Try to put those guys in some positions that they can make plays and force teams to do things that they don't want to do.
You were a number 2 draft pick when you got to the Giants.
Yes.
Abdul Carter is a number 1 draft pick. A little more pressure when you're a first-round pick. What kind of advice would you give to him during his rookie season?
First and foremost, no pressure. no pressure at all, but just come in and play ball. I mean, do what you do best. So, it's not the people in the stands. It's that guy that's in front of you that he needs to concentrate and need to whoop butt, and if he can do that very well, be successful, be a charm in the locker room, that a lot of just the cohesiveness of guys just working together. That was one thing that about us. A lot of people say a lot of good things about us, but they don't know how well we were on and off the field, and good teammates. And that's what makes things work. When a guy like Taylor, like Banks, that can look at you on the field and like give you that look like, hey man, you got to take my back on this because I'm getting ready to do something crazy. It's all right. And so then you can look back at him. Right. I was happy when I got to that point. I had to really work to get to that point, but I can look back at him and, something might come up a little different than what we planned, but you make that play, a lot of confidence in each other, and then you start working very well, like, hand and foot.
You had versatility in your game, and so does Carter. Played off-ball linebacker before he became an edge rusher, played some stuff in the middle. What will be the toughest thing for him to learn, the toughest adjustment?
If they ask him to cover man-to-man. A lot of people is not, you can run fast, but covering man-to-man is a whole different beast. And that was one of the things another thing that a lot of people didn't give us credit for. When we would have those training camp practices against other teams, and we would do one-on-one against the running backs, it was classical that we would just kick their butt, that they wouldn't catch any freaking passes, and that was a good thing. And a lot of people, matter of fact, when they look at me now, they say, "You never covered man-to-man. You was a run stopper." No, I was the man cover backer. So.
I saw it.
Yeah, exactly. So please tell everybody. But that I would think would be the toughest thing for him. Is covering the man-to-man and just being patient with it and read his keys and all that stuff like that, and whatever the coaches are telling the techniques that they're showing them to have, make it work.
There were a lot of people going into the draft who said, well, but they already have 2 edge rushers. Why do you want to draft Abdul Carter, another edge rusher? You're not going to be able to get him on the field at the same time. You as a coach and as a coordinator, that's not true. It's very simple to get him on the field.
Exactly. Yeah. And who labeled him? Just like how we started this conversation, he's very versatile. So he can play in a lot of different places. And Thibodeau also, he is he can make a lot of inside offensive linemen wonder why in the world is he lined up in here, and start worrying about things that normally they don't worry about when a big guy is down there. So, make some things happen. Just make some things happen. They're big boys. They're strong. Last I checked, some of the biceps on these guys. So he can stand up there and hold up against the run, and it's for the guys behind him. Also can make some plays. So I think it's the versatility, and right now no one knows what they're going to do, if they're going to move him around, if they're going to line him up in the inside, or like I said, Thibodeau. It's a question mark, and hopefully we do a lot of that.
Pepper, a lot of things that people don't realize, it's not just about what the linebackers do, it's about what the guys in front of you do. They've got to keep the linebackers clean. This defensive line has had a lot of talent during this offseason. I think that's going to help out a lot.
Oh, yeah. Guys, again, it's the camaraderie, it's the locker room, how well you get along in the classroom, in the locker room, off the field, in the dining room area, which is tremendous. I'm not used to this, and then you go out on the field, and it's second nature. It's second nature. I want to work well with this guy because we have such a good bond. We're brothers, so we can go out here on the field and work with each other and know what the other guy is thinking and what he's going to do. So when you start getting that feeling, and plus, the linemen don't always just keep the guys off of us. Remember that name, linebacker. We back up the line. So whatever they do, wrong or right, it's our responsibility to make them right. So we have to be a little patient and know when we can shoot gaps and when we can go over the top and when we need to run straight ahead and stuff somebody so that they can bounce to one of our defensive linemen. So those guys appreciate that also.
It's early yet. We don't know what the ceiling is for this defense, but we think with the talent that they have, they could be dynamic. As a former All-Pro and great Giants defender, how much pride does that give you? How does that make you smile when you realize the Giants are getting back to maybe having a dominant defense again?
I start smelling championships in the air because I'm definitely gonna stand by my word, and defense win championships. And if you have a very strong defense, it doesn't matter. The offense are the little brothers. It's like anybody that I am the little brother, believe it or not, but anyone that have brothers, the offense is the little brother. So defensively, you have to go out there and you have to do whatever possible to protect your younger brother. So that's what we do. That's what, as defensive guys, that's what we do. It doesn't matter. They get a turnover. We're out there on the field, just salivating because we couldn't wait to get out there. They just let us get out there a little earlier, and we getting ready to do something, demolish your offense. You should have never took the ball away from our offense. And if you have that mentality going forward, it's the offense will pick up. They will appreciate it, and they will make some things happen. They will change the field position and all that good stuff like that. And then you start working together. It's like it's a machine.
Pepper Johnson's always good to see you.
Thank you. I'm glad you bring me out here and we can do these interviews. So I love it.
The Huddle is brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Giants. From game day celebrations to your everyday financial needs, Big Blue fans can get the most out of every moment with Citizens. Learn more at citizensbank.com/Giants.
Huddle up, get in here. If you're lined up here, you gotta go over the middle with it to score.
Right. How do we make that happen?
I don't know.
But Citizens does.
Make sense of your money with Citizens, official bank of Eli Manning.
Welcome to another edition of The Huddle. I'm Paul Dottino with Giants legend Charles Way. We are brought to you by Citizens. Charles, you played fullback for this team, and in recent years, teams seem to have rediscovered the value of the running game and of the fullbacks, and more teams are adding them. Why do you suppose there's been such a shift over the last decade in terms of the value of the position?
I think when you look at how defenses have changed and how the personnel on the defensive side have changed, it actually lends itself to having a great running game because the linebackers are so much smaller than when I played. You don't have 260, 75-pound linebackers just trying to take you on an ISO drill. So when you look at the defenses, how much smaller they are, that you've got safeties playing linebacker, it lends itself to, if you get good, stout, big offensive linemen and have a decent fullback, you can do some damage in the run game.
Let's talk about this Giants run game. Tyrone Tracy, the rookie who came out of Purdue, originally had been a wide receiver in college, converted himself to a running back. You got a chance to watch him last year, ran for about 900 yards. Your thoughts about his development and maybe the step he can take as he becomes more acclimated to the position?
I think the main thing that he should be working on right now is just ball security. I think the one thing that hampered him last year was the fumbles. And if you eliminate the fumbles, he had a great season for his rookie season. And when you look at just the depth behind him, I love Scatterboo. I love what he brings. He reminds me of Ahmad Bradshaw. And he brings that toughness and grit, that kind of bulldog mentality that we loved when Ahmad was here, and he had all those great years.
Now, I'm interested that you just mentioned Scatterboo because we saw at Arizona State the kind of energy he brings to a team with the physicality, but also very good out of the backfield catching the ball, and that can be an important part of a fullback's job.
Absolutely, especially in today's game. If you're not a running back that can go out and catch passes and be a relevant piece to the offensive puzzle, in the passing game, I don't think you have a place in today's game, because with that dual threat, you just can't load up and stack 8 guys in the box. Like when you look at Scatterboo, big guy, you don't think he can go out and be a threat in the passing game, but he can, and I think that adds to his value and the potential of this potential dynamic offense.
Now, the offensive line also is where it all starts. We all know that. We don't know exactly who the starting 5 are going to be right now. But safe to say that the offensive line and the running backs have to form a chemistry with each other, don't they? And it's got to happen pretty quick.
I think so. I think it's easier from a run game standpoint. It's harder from a pass game standpoint, just because of all the schemes that the defenses have. So it's a lot easier when you have some cohesiveness with a run game, because you know how to pass things off as an offensive lineman. And the type of offense they're running, they're not using a fullback that much, so you don't have a fullback having to adjust from a offense and fullback position, where I would tell the guys when I was playing fullback is you just get a man and I'll adjust off of you, because I knew the scheme. And so I think that's the difference in today's game, is that you don't have that guy behind making the adjustments. And I think when talking to Coach Gilbride, we were having a conversation about bringing a fullback back, and he thinks that having that more athletic type, not having a tight end back there, but having a true fullback back there, enables an offense to do a lot more, because they did go out in the passing game. You did have certain pass routes for them, and so and they helped in the pass protection as well.
How much do you think it helps young backs like Scatterboo and Tracy to have a veteran such as Russell Wilson back there calling the signals? He has seen everything that this league has to offer.
I think it's an amazing opportunity for them to have a veteran like Russell guide them and kind of give them like a blueprint of what it takes to win a Super Bowl. He's done it. He's had success in this league, and I think looking at him in practices and mini camps, I think he looks a lot healthier, and you kind of get a semblance of that youthfulness. I think what the Jets wanted from Aaron Rodgers last year that they didn't get, I think Russell can bring that to this team and hopefully deliver.
All right, final question, and this is a little tricky. You were on a team that did struggle for a bit, but then in '97 won the NFC East title. You were a huge part of that. What's the biggest thing, besides obviously a talent increase, that a team can do to turn their fortunes around quickly?
I think it's twofold. It's having the buy-in from the players with the coaching staff, and having the coaching staff just put the players in the right position. Obviously, we're a very young team, and making sure that they pay attention to detail. And it's going to take the veteran leadership like Russell Wilson. You got Dexter Lawrence. It's going to take those guys keeping everyone together and keeping everybody on the same page.
Charles Wade, it's always good to see you. Thanks for coming back.
Always great being here.